our sponsor of this project. Thank you very much, Uganda Insurers Association. Ever since we started doing this project with Uganda Insurers Association, particularly Paulo Kavuma has changed the image of the sector. You can imagine we trained 50 crash investigators. We trained 50 road safety officers again on road safety. Now we have trained again 50 community.
Chief guest, Admin Officer CID, our invited guests, fellow participants, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Traffic Agency. I'm here to give brief remarks about the course that we have undertaken on the theme capacity building of Uganda Police Force, liaison officers, traffic officers to effectively respond to the needs of road crash, road theft, and road theft victims and victims' claims compensation. For the last 4 days, we have listened to a well-packaged presentation on the causes and forms of road crash and actual damages. We also captured the key concepts, and the key concepts are the ones I've just talked about. We're in a position now to differentiate what an accident is and what a crash is. We've been mixing those two. An accident, we're told, you have no control over it. It is only God. It is an avoidable circumstance. With a crash, that is negligence. You're drunk, you go driving, you end up causing a road crash. We also looked at relevant concepts of motor third party. We learned the types of third parties and actually their features. Out there, we've been being challenged by some of the drivers because they are engaged in forging at times. So you're not in a position to differentiate which one is a genuine sticker, which one is not. Now we know the features, and we can differentiate by the serial numbers, and then there are those, if it is a private motor vehicle, it has a saloon car, and others. Hovita tackled the strategies or the approaches they use in advocating for the rights of victims involved in crashes. We also learned that it is an organization that is advocating for the rights of the victims. For example, if there are victims involved in the accident, what are their rights? They have a right to live, that is right to life. They have to be informed of what is transpiring or how you're handling a case file. They have a right to get that information. We talked of Hovita still, talked of legal framework of addressing claims of the road crash. That was for actually Uganda Insurers Association, where they have showed us that sometimes there are victims or clients out there who don't know where to go and what to do. So they designed for us a form. It is a victims data collection form, if I'm so right. And those forms shall be given to victims, or we shall teach them that when you need to, when you need a compensation from your insurer, this is the form, and this is how you're supposed to fill it. While the investigations, we had a discussion where we were tasked to outline the things that we do. For example, when we are at the scene, that is when we are investigating. Now, when you are at the scene of accident, what do you have to do? When you reach at the scene of accident, we agreed that you look at the witnesses at the scene because they are going to lead you. When
Gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm privileged to stand before you this afternoon. My name's Hajat Kayongo Aisha. I'm an Assistant Superintendent of Police working with the Directorate of Human Resource Development and Training. I sit at Police Headquarters. I head the Specialized Training Unit. We started this training from the 13th of this month, and it's run for 4 days, ending today. The participants on the course were drawn from both the Directorate of Traffic, and we too merged them with the Community Liaison Officers, depending on the requirement we had for this training. We had expert trainers who have facilitated this course, both from Hovita, who were the lead facilitators, and the Uganda Insurers Association as our development partners and funders for this training. We've quite covered a number of topics which we designed and believe were the most relevant as far as our need for this training was concerned. We have applied different methodologies as part of our training requirement, where we had participants having group discussions, sharing their experiences, and also involving in giving feedback of how the training has gone. So it's really been timely, and as part of feedback, our officers on course, the total number that was officially sent to us, it was 50. Of the 50, only 3 did not report, and out of those ones on course, we had 8 female on course, and all have been in position to successfully complete with us. I take this opportunity to, in an exceptional way, thank Uganda Insurers Association for having accepted to conduct this training with us. We thank you so very much. I too take this opportunity to thank Hovita for having trusted us. Great thanks to you, our participants, for all the contributions, for having been patient with us for the 4 days we've been in position to carry this training with you. My last word to you as your participants: this training was tailored for a certain purpose. We've had a lot we have shared with you, which we request shouldn't be left in this facility. We've drawn an action plan with you, which we believe we are going to follow up after this training, and we should be in position to give feedback, not only to our development partners, but also to the communities we serve. Up to that point, I request to beg here, for all of you who have come to witness the closure of this workshop, we appreciate your time of coming to stay with us for God and my country. I thank you.
Uganda Insurers Association. Again, now I'm inviting the CEO. His remarks. Then after he will hand over.
Stand the danger of being told to cover because the problem were arrest us here. So yeah, I can assure you, like my sister Aisha said, this is the first of many. Association is to make sure that we disseminate good information about insurance as I say. And we also realize that it is our clients who cause the without further ado, I wish to invite our regulator.
The Chief Executive Officer, Uganda Insurers Association, Mr. Paul Kavuma. The chief guest, who happens to be my brother and Obi, Mr. Okecho Isaac. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon, all. Let me first of all take this opportunity to Assistant Superintendent of Police, to police constables have participated. This serves as a good representation of attendees that we are sure will now disseminate the information and knowledge to their subordinates and colleagues for effective execution of duty. Madam Aisha used the word ambassador. For me, I think, as a very religious person, I would prefer using the word disciples. You are now the disciples to disseminate this information to your colleagues and to the public. I believe most of you are not so familiar. You may not be familiar with the Insurance Regulatory Authority, what we do. Basically, the vision of the Insurance Regulatory Authority is to become a model regulator of a developed and secure insurance industry. And one of our key functions is to regulate, supervise, monitor, and control the insurance sector. Section 12(1)(a) of the Insurance Act 2017 refers. We therefore superintend over all insurance players, not only on best practice ethos, but most importantly, to ensure the financial soundness of the sector. The cardinal rule for any insurer is to ensure that they have the capacity to meet the needs of the promise they make to their clients through claims compensation. Insurers take premium from you, and then they say, when this building burns, we are going to compensate you. So they must be financially sound. And who will ensure that they are financially sound? The insurance regulator. We have got the first line of defense is when an insurer comes to IRA for a license, we ensure that you have a certain minimum amount of capital to enable you to operate. Secondly, you must also have an appropriate reinsurance treaty. I always tell people that the insurance sector is the most civilized sector in the world, because we believe we must share risks. We live by sharing risks. If you are going to retain all the risks, if somebody pays you premium, 10 billion, and you think you are going to swallow the whole thing, yet your capacity is small, that is not insurance. And we are totally against that. That's why we look at their treaty programs in order to ensure that they are going to retain risks which are proportionate to their capital. I'm happy to note that we have achieved this and wish to instill further confidence that the sector is well regulated and able to meet the needs of its clients. Where we have cases of complaints, we also address these through our complaints bureau at the authority, and wish to implore the public to make good use of this avenue in the event that such a situation arises. We work closely with all our industry stakeholders, like the Uganda Insurers Association, and that's why you can see I'm here, in order to promote the industry and in order to ensure compliance with the requirements of the Act. I have been reliably informed that UIA has recorded 100% attendance, i.e. all the 50 participants have been here from Monday up to now. There is no single mutegaji. We want to applaud your commitment and dedication to this cause. We understand the importance attached to your respective duty station. Of course, there's an opportunity cost of being here. You have businesses, you have official things to attend to, you have family issues to attend to, but for these 4 days you have been here committed, listening to the resource persons. And for you to commit to this out of your valuable time is quite commendable. The main objective of this training, like it has already been mentioned, is to strengthen the capacity of police officers and other actors to effectively respond to victims, survivors' needs of road crash accidents. This is not only relevant, but very critical to our service delivery. As you may be aware, motor insurance constitutes close to 40% of the business that the licensees underwrite. Otherwise, we would have organized a workshop for aviation. But how many aviation accidents have we had here in Uganda? Very few. We would have organized one for fire. So here we are looking at the frequency and the exposure of occurrence. That's why we focused on motor third party. We also know that motor accident claims for injuries and death touch and concern individuals' livelihoods. And therefore, every effort to see that the claims processes for compensation is made easy is a good and worthy initiative. And thus, we commend the UIA for this and wish to thank the Uganda Police for its unwavering support in this regard as well. We did not take the support extended by the Inspector General of Police for granted. We thank you for coming to rescue us whenever we need your support. Of course, to mention that 3 years ago, we set up the anti-insurance fraud unit. And we received 2 officers from Uganda Police to man the anti-insurance fraud unit. So we are working closely with the Inspector General of Police. The practice of motor third-party insurance has many challenges, as the current law has been overtaken by both social and economic events since it was enacted in 1989 and has not been amended to date. These days, when I see people's CVs, you find people applying for principal officers and they were born in 1989. And the Motor Third Party Act came out in 1989. 1989, I was exactly in S4. And so you can imagine how long it has taken. And has not been amended to date. When somebody gets an accident and he dies, and the family is compensated 1 million shillings, in fact, what can that do? Can it support the family? The answer is a complete no. So we are saying that this has led to the following. 1, lack of appreciation of insurance. Your person has died from a motor accident and has only been compensated 1 million shillings. Of course, half a loaf is better than no loaf, but sometimes you have to to borrow. And so they refer to motor third party as a tax. Secondly, there is poor enforcement, which has promoted the use of fake motor third party stickers. And this means that cover is not afforded. Then thirdly, there are cost and logistical constraints in procurement of police reports and investigation services due to lack of a centralized database. Now, the Insurance Regulatory Authority, like always when we have challenges, the father in the family must respond. What have we done about this? We have championed calls to amend the Motor Third Party Act. Together with the support of our line ministry, that's the Ministry of Finance, Planning, Economic Development. And this matter, actually, the Motor Third Party Bill, I think, is going to be laid before Parliament, something like that. He has gone through cabinet, he has gone through several stages, which is going to provide improved recommended principle on how we can manage the Motor Third Party Act. Now, the training in collaboration with the Uganda Police Force, we strongly believe will certainly continue to propel public confidence and awareness campaigns on motor third party insurance through innovation like the digitalization of services. I hope all of you have heard about the mobile payment platform. Motor third party is now being purchased through mobile payment platform. Programs to victims to show empathy, endorsements from victims on settlement testimonials, corporate social responsibility that offers support to the victims of hit and run. We are sure that good resolutions have been achieved to meet the expected outcome of the training as 1, sharing skills, knowledge and experience on management of cases of road accidents, victims, stroke survivors to achieve motor third party compensation from the players. This training has made reference to best practice both at national, regional and international levels to address and establish best practice for road accident victims. When I talk of national and international, good news that I'm not seeing the white skin here. You know, people normally think that if it is international, then there should be a resource person who's, but now our people are empowered, they can deliver. So we have our own people who are experts, and they can even deliver at cheaper cost than if we were to get somebody from the United States of America or UK or Japan. So we are slowly building Uganda. Improve road accident victims case handling. We are confident that UIA will share with us this report, the report for the training for our records and reference, and also even the action plan so that we can monitor how the action plans are being implemented. It is our sincere hope and request that the hierarchy at the Uganda Police Forces will consider and include in their curricula contents such as this, both in their induction courses and continuous training for the officers. We at the authority can pledge our unwavering support on this. And I am sure the UIA will be ready and willing to support, as well as our industry training arm, the Insurers Training College, to regularize the same for recognition. I was listening very carefully, and it was mentioned that you need even to have quarterly training programs. with the various officers. These are just 50 officers. I don't know how many officers are there. I don't think there are only 50. I'm not seeing my OC of Nansana. I don't know whether he's here. I stay in Nansana, but I've not seen him. He's my OC. So, ladies and gentlemen, officers and men, it's indeed my singular honor. Also, I know the chief guest will officially close, but also in our capacity as the insurance regulators, to declare the training closed, and we acknowledge the attendees with a certificate of attendance. I was not told about the results, but I believe everybody passed, and we went through rigorous exams to get the certificates. It's not just a question of being here, then you get a certificate, but I hope you got flying colors. I wish you people a safe journey back home, and please take care as COVID-19 is real. May God bless you.
Then the other category is certificate of appreciation.
The Executive Director, Uganda Insurance Association, the representative of the CEO of Uganda Insurance Regulatory Authority, the CEO of Hovita, representative of the Director Training, Uganda Police Force, our dear participants, facilitators, dear facilitators, and members of the press, I bring you greetings from the Inspector General of Police. Good afternoon. I am called Isaac Okesho. I work as Commissioner for CID Administration at CID Headquarters, Kibuli. I am here to represent the Inspector General of Police. So greetings from him as well. Today is a great day. To me, to you, and to your relatives. A lot has been said, but I will try to summarize mine. But you will touch on each and every one of us here. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to send our gratitude to the Insurance Uganda Insurance Association. Insurers Association. Resources world over are very scarce. In police it is scarce. Insurance industry is scarce. Everywhere it is scarce. But to get a partner who is ready to remove his meager resources to put to this training is something that we must appreciate. Can we have a round of applause for that? The insurance industry in this country, I can say, is still very, very, very small. Just yesterday, His Excellency, the President of this country, said, in fact, he mentioned the number of Ugandans who are paying taxes. So to relate it to this, how many Ugandans willingly go and pay for insurance? I don't think we should mention the percentage here. It is shameful. It is very, very shameful. I'm sorry. However, this training is taking us somewhere. How? How? The moment the police officers do their work well, CID, FFU, then we come to traffic, CLOs, and people get justice during prosecution from courts of law, the members of the public will develop trust in the insurance industry. In that process, the industry will grow. Now, once the industry grows, of course, positively, it will not grow negatively. The public will be secure. And with that trust developed because of the good work of the police, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the ultimate goal of this training is to develop that trust. From what we do, the public will say, yeah, insurance is a good thing. And once there is growth, definitely, they also pay taxes. And therefore, your salaries, I refer to my colleagues, the police officers, your salaries will also be enhanced. If you look at it from that perspective, it means that after here, go and we change the perception of the citizens of this country. Mr. Bernard Bell, my OB here, is the executive director, representative of the executive director of the Insurance Regulation Authority. If we went back home and you asked our people, what is insurance? What is insurance? You will get some of these answers. One, insurance is a gamble or a theft because you steal their money. That's their perception. Another one will tell you it is witchcraft. That you talk to them very, very well so that you take money but they don't see. If nothing happens, therefore you have stolen his money. So insurance is theft or is witchcraft. Others will simply say it is bad business. Because the moment they insure, and by good luck everything goes on well, they are freed from it. Then others will simply tell you that insurance is scientific. And when they say scientific, you know what they mean? That is a way of getting money without working hard. But that is their perception. It is you and me from police, and then the responsible people, officers, members of the fourth estate, to sensitize these people that no, insurance is not what you think. If I heard Mr. Bell very well said, yes, those good stories about compensation should cascade down. Once that is done, we shall see people developing trust and we shall see growth in the industry. This training, to me, I call it value addition. Value addition in that after here, I hope the knowledge you've gained is not going to end here with the certificate, go and put under your pillow and you sleep. Then eventually it will, from the brain it will rust. Knowledge gained and not practiced will definitely rust. But knowledge gained and you put into practice, we shall all benefit. It may be you, it may be your daughter, it may be your grandchildren, but definitely we shall benefit. I thank you very much for being here for the last 3 days and being very, very active, learning. However, like Oliver Twist said, always some more, some more. When Mr. Bell talked about training only 50 officers, I had already made my brief calculation here. And please, where possible, if we did it, could be better. Uganda, we have got 200 police districts and police divisions. There are 200. If you added the divisions, then you add the districts. There are 200. If this training would cascade it down to regional, we also have 29 regions, police regions. We go and from each region, we train. Maybe 30 also. We are going back to where we want to be. Where we want to be is a thoroughly investigated case where the victims get justice. Not concocted justice. I hope officers, let us talk this openly. One of the worst things the police officer can do is to go to court unprepared and to go to court with a concocted evidence. During a cross-examination, you are going to collapse. Is that true? Is that true? The moment you forge evidence, cross-examination is just going to floor you. And you will look the most unprofessional officer. But if you did your work well, people will develop trust in you. I am very, very, very happy for the first time having such a training incorporating CLOs. Community liaison officers are officers who are, in fact, you are our mirror in the police force. Because every complaint, CID has made a mistake, CLO, we normally call it, there's that good language, damage control. Damage control. You start painting a black thing white. CLO, something bad has happened in traffic, CLO should paint it white because we don't want black anywhere. FFU has maybe kicked someone there, CLO. You are the mirrors of the police. And you have a lot of interaction, interface with the public. Make sure that whenever you go out for community policing, you ship in something small about insurance. That would be very good. And I would be very glad to see that the ambassadors, the disciples, all those good names are yours. You do that. Because when they call you a disciple and you go there and you start deviating, you know there's a problem. But I pray you go, comfort the public, guiding them, directing them. In case of anything, this is the office to go to. You will see the number of people buying policies increasing. And maybe there's something that even me, I don't know. At death, what is the maximum compensation? 1 million. But you will find that the legal practitioners in Kampala or other parts of Uganda say, before I open a file, with his law firm, first deposit 0.5. First deposit 0.5. Now, you are looking at 1 million. You deposit 0.5, the money is going to pass through his account. The 1 million which is now coming from the insurance. Which means you will share that one. As if that's not enough, in most cases, the relatives of the deceased even ask for 300,000 just to buy a coffin and see off their beloved one. That is, when you talk of insurance, even in other areas, for them they switch back to insurance. At death they only give you 1 million. Let us talk about that. Let us discourage. Then, again, investigations. I would pray that the next course, we ensure there are at least 2 people, investigators, accident investigators. We've got what they call local theory. Then when 2 bodies meet, they must exchange. Exchanging what? Have you heard of local theory, officers? Yeah, when 2 bodies meet, this one leaves its particles onto this one and this one to the other one. In case of these accident cases, there is a lot of evidence at the scene, but sometimes you may not know which one to pick. You can pick paint. If the ground is smooth and you get the tire marks, you can pick the broken glass or any particle from that vehicle. It can scientifically help you to prove your case in court. Today, investigations have gone scientific. Therefore, having those skills are crucial for your day-to-day work. And if embraced, scientific investigation is very, very simple. You only need to know the GAL. The GAL is the Directorate of Government Analytical Laboratory. One day they are here. Then police headquarters behind, there is the Directorate of Forensic Services. We can do all this. But in most cases, once we investigate the case poorly, the danger, the pain felt by the relatives of the deceased, more so after our failure to deliver, is enormous. Let us try to avoid all this. Yeah, at least I have covered most of the things I wanted to tell you. Lastly, live here, go back to your homes. Remember, we have been supported by our good partners in fighting crime. Always remember to do what you have learned and do it well. To our, I will call you funders, because you support us in different ways. IRA, UIA, Hovita, and Road Safety NGO. Let's have a partnership which will be continuous, as it was earlier on stated. A continued partnership of this kind will push us beyond where I want to be. Beyond where I want to be, which means we'll be excellent, excellent. Thank you very much, everybody. I wish you safe journey home, and we meet again for another training for God and my country.
Thank you very much, the chief guest, for the wonderful closure of our training. Allow me to request the team that we take a group photo together.
Afande has put some effort in smiling.